Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I've got 3 Ripple and XRP related stories to share with you in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam. I'll start with this one because you know what? Money is pouring into XRP, and not just from your typical retail speculators. Take a look at this from Cointelegraph. Here's the headline. Institutional XRP inflows surge as assets under management nearly doubles. Well, how about that? I thought that everybody was running from XRP and then it was all going to go to zero and we were going to have a bad time. Well, apparently that's not the case. Also got a new court filing. Take a look at this headline from You Today. SEC wants to prevent Ripple from searching its staff's personal devices. Yeah, there's a little bit more to it than that. Effectively, I'll just tell you here at the outset, what is happening here is that the SEC is being a bunch of baby back biatches. That's pretty much what's happening here. And then I'll wrap up the video with this. There's a petition for the XRP community member titled Gary Gensler End the War on XRP, which has 11,449 signatures. And I actually have not read this one yet. So at the end of the video, I'm going to run through this whole thing. It's not that long. I'm going to run through it with you, share with you initial impressions here. But yeah, this is one of the rare instances where I'm going to cover something I actually haven't read yet. So hopefully that goes well. Before I go any further, though, I do want to be clear that I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say. All right, I'm just a simple little moon Lambo. I'm an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos as a fun hobby all up on the webinets. That's all that's going on here. So, you remember this? I'm not going to go through the story, but I highlighted one of them. I had to highlight one of them because the fudsters and the Bitcoin maxi trolls out there were just loving this. Here's a headline from CoinDesk. This is from January 13th, 2021. Grayscale Investments begins dissolution of XRP trust citing Ripple SEC lawsuit. And you know that the Bitcoin maxi trolls out there, there's a bunch of assets. Well, actually, I'm going to reserve that term for this video specifically for Jay Clayton, for one Jay Clayton. The Bitcoin maxi trolls out there, upon seeing this, they're getting all excited. They went from like 1 to 3, if you know what I'm saying. Ripple, zero, cottage cheese. And that's what they said. That's it. And you can always tell when there's a Bitcoin maxi troll around because it starts to smell like sadness in room temperature cottage cheese. Like that's what's going on right here. Now, so here's the deal with this. Grayscale, absolutely gigantic investment firm in the world of crypto, gigantic hedge fund. And I happen to know somebody in the XRP community member who has friends there. And so I have heard through the grapevine what they were saying here. And this really is the reason that they got rid of their XRP trust and divested themselves of the XRP holdings, which were massive. It really is just because the SEC, and they haven't really stated it publicly, but I have heard through the grapevine anyway, so take that for what it's worth. I heard through the grapevine that as soon as there is clarity, they'll be snatching up a bunch of XRP again and resuming their XRP trust. So in the meantime, it's down. But look, this is just in the United States. There's all sorts of hedge funds the world over. And others are taking advantage of the current situation. So here's a piece from Cointelegraph. Institutional investors have rallied around XRP this week, with the assets under management, or XRP investment products, nearly doubling. According to CoinShares Digital Asset Fund Flows Weekly report, roughly $33 million flowed into XRP products this week, pushing the sector's assets under management up to $83 million. The report describes the week as the most bullish for institutional crypto products since early March, with $233 million injected into institutional funds. And so I'll just say that the reports of XRP being dead have been grossly overstated. XRP is alive and well, and it will not go the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature, so says me anyway. On to the next story now. Here is attorney James Filan, who's been sharing all sorts of insights pertaining to the SEC versus Ripple case. So he's not involved with it. He's, if anything, maybe he'd call himself an XRP community member, but he's been sharing all sorts of documents. And he wrote the following. Breaking. SEC seeks order limiting discovery to external communications regarding market views of XRP, Bitcoin, and Ether involving any of the 19 custodians identified by Ripple defendants, and which does not require the SEC to review or produce internal communications from those custodians or any others. And so what I did was I went ahead and printed up the document. This is the document right here. And I bought a printer for home. I actually own a bunch of printers because I am a business owner, and so I have a ton of printers, LaserJet printers at the office. But I wanted a little guy, so I bought like the world's smallest LaserJet printer for home. And so what I've been doing is I've been printing up these legal documents because I look, outside of this, like I'm not going to need this printer for anything else ever again. I got it just so that I could, mark up pages having to do with the SEC versus Ripple suit. That really is functionally it here. And I know I could highlight stuff on apps using a tablet, this and that. I like the physical paper. Do you hear that? That's physical paper right there. This is slaughtered tree right in my hands. There's something about marking up slaughtered trees with a highlighter that really floats my boat here. But can I share with you a little problem? This was kind of regrettable. So I went to print this mofo right here, and I looked at the top and I saw it was printed in blue, page 1 of 7. Now I understand that this is a document from the SEC, which does mean that there could have been pages after that. It even crossed my mind that maybe it could be more than 7 pages, but whatever. I was in a hurry. I just hit print. I wanted to get this document and then highlight the parts that I wanted to share in this video, which I have since done. And so I print it, and then I come back later, and the damn thing's still printing like minutes later. I'm like, what in the ever-loving hell is going on? Why is my stupid little Hewlett-Packard printer still printing up on all these slaughtered trees right here that Moon Lambo purchased? And then I looked down here, and I saw that this thing is actually 145 pages. And it almost printed the whole damn thing. So I was able to catch it and cancel it. There's like 12 more pages or something. I'm like, okay. And what it is, it's a bunch of like exhibits and stuff. Like I just, and not like the Pimp My Ride host exhibits, like it's for the case. So you can see this thing just goes and goes and goes. I was like, oh damn, I just wanted the first 7 pages. Anyway, thank you for humoring me while I shared that story here. But anyway, so here's the parts that I wanted to cover, and they're really just a couple. So take a look at this. Here's what the SEC wrote. And this is a brand new file in here. Dear Judge Netburn, Plaintiff, Securities and Exchange Commission. And then in parentheses they write SEC, which is a mistake. It should say asshat right there, but it does not. It says SEC. But anyway, respectfully seeks an order that resolves pending discovery disputes and bars defendants from seeking irrelevant, privileged SEC staff materials that this court already ruled are not discoverable. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and make a bet that what you're saying the court has already ruled on is not discoverable. Ripple would say, no, that is a dishonest characterization of what the documents actually should include and what we're asking for, and it is discoverable. I'm just going to go ahead and take a whack at that one and assume that it's the SEC trying to protect themselves. Maybe they do have skeletons in the closet. I'll not be surprised in the least if that's what's going on here. And they then wrote, it has become evident through the meet and confer process that defendants are seeking to ignore the limitations of this court's order and to mire the SEC in indefinite discovery disputes and, if successful, document review. Let me pause right there. I can't remember exactly what the number is, but do you guys remember? I made a video. You may have watched it. It was probably a month and a half ago at this. I don't even know. It's been a while. But I found out that the SEC demanded a bunch of documents be presented by Ripple, and Ripple complied with that. And it was something like 300,000 pages or something stupid like that. And Ripple handed them over. And now these little baby back biatchas are trying to cause a stink over this. I bet just seeing how they've behaved in this case thus far, how hypocritical, illogical, and unethical they behaved, I'll not be surprised in the least if this is just a tactic for them to try and hide stuff here. And so they then wrote the following. The SEC seeks to prohibit defendants from 1. Obtaining internal SEC staff communications the court already excluded from production. Do you think Ripple's really doing something that they know they should do? Like, seeing how Ripple's behaved in this and seeing how the SEC has behaved in this, I don't buy, like, I'm skeptical without additional information. Now, I want additional information, so I'll be open-minded. That's just the way I operate in life. If there's evidence that Ripple's not acting in some sort of ethical way, I'll call them out here on the channel. I just haven't seen it. I think that they are operating in good faith. And so just given the behavior that I've seen thus far, I'm willing to bet it's the SEC. And then number 2, searching SEC staff personal devices. And so as far as that, I don't know what's normal for these cases because I don't have a legal background. But if it's something that is not outside of the legal bounds and it's within the court order, present the damn stuff. Whatever. But really, wouldn't you think a lot of those communications, like even if it's on a staff device, wouldn't it be on it like SEC servers also? I mean, it's not like you have to go to like to whoever's iPhone to get these emails, or pick your cell phone of choice here. If it's on SEC government servers, you should just be able to get. I don't understand. This would have to be fleshed out. I don't even understand. That doesn't make a damn bit of sense to me. Because think about it, like, what are these secret documents that are not on SEC servers in any capacity? They're on somebody's iPhone or personal device or tablet or computer. What the hell is that? That doesn't even make any damn sense, right? And then number 3, they wrote adding custodians. And so that's it. That's effectively, like, in a nutshell, that's what it is. I read through the rest of the 7-page document, and it's dry, and there wasn't anything else that terribly caught my attention. So I'll just wait and see. If any lawyers within the XRP community have something to add, I'll be happy to talk about that in a future video. But right now, I'm just assuming it's just the army of asshats out there just being D-bags. SEC ass hats. That's them marching right there. That's what they sound like. Attorney John Deaton wrote the following. This is on Twitter, in an effort to apply pressure from every possible angle, please consider signing the petition. Thanks. And so I'm going to read through this right now. I have not read this yet, and so we get to experience this together for the first time. Or maybe you read ahead of me, in which case I can't wait to find out what you already know. Over the past few months, evidence has publicly mounted which raises serious questions about the motivations behind the 11th hour charges brought by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission against cryptocurrency innovator Ripple Labs and 2 executives in December 2020. We're asking Gary Gensler, recently confirmed as the new chairman of the SEC, to take a close look at the SEC's allegations against Ripple Labs, its co-founders, and the harm the SEC's actions have already and needlessly caused to holders of the digital currency XRP. Woo-woo. Mr. Gensler, we also petition you to make a public commitment to sitting down with the holders of XRP and other digital assets to understand what it truly means to defend investors at the SEC. Your agency is trying to silence our voices in the Ripple lawsuit. Show us you understand what your job is all about. Yeah, well, look, at this point, I understand that things can be different since Gary Gensler's in. It's a new day. But still, given that he's the head honcho, he's the guy in charge, he's still going to do everything he has to. You know this, right? He's going to do everything he has to save face, to make sure that the SEC's reputable... I can't even say this. You're reputable. SEC and reputable. He's going to make sure that, the SEC remains a respected entity. Look, at least keep the facade going like it actually is something that's worth respecting, right? To what end would it benefit them to sit, look, good request. I think that he should hear, a perspective from the people that you're negatively impacting. I just don't think that they're going to, and I doubt that Gary Gensler or anyone at the SEC would view this as something that would really be necessary on their behalf or something that would benefit them, and they're going to be looking out for themselves here. So I doubt it's going to happen. Now I appreciate this. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to just just throw this into the wood chipper. So far, it sounds perfectly fine, and I appreciate that people are trying to attack from all sides. I'm just sharing with you what my expectations would be, because it's not to say something bad about this petition to this point anyway. It's more so to say the SEC can freaking suck it, like eggplant emojis. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, they wrote to show us you understand what your job is all about. End the Ripple lawsuit and stop the SEC from making up cryptocurrency rules through lawsuits. In place of writing these rules properly, with public input and partnerships with the U.S. Congress. See, and I do think that's excellent. I just don't think it's going to happen. As far as ending the Ripple lawsuit settlement, if you consider that ending it, and it would technically be, absolutely, quite literally, then yes. If you think that they're going to drop it, though, I think the SEC is not going to drop the case. The settlement, yeah, perhaps. Especially if there's a bunch of skeletons in the closet that are about to come out here, and the SEC knows it. That would prompt them, I think, to move with haste, let's say here. And then as far as there not being sufficient regulatory clarity, I don't know. It's honestly, this one, I don't know what to expect. We're just going to have to let time pass and see if Gary Gensler can lead in such a way that the SEC will no longer seek to regulate through enforcement, but maybe through but instead by providing sufficient regulatory clarity. We can hope. I don't know if that's going to happen. We're going to find out together over the span of the next 5 years. I think it's a 5-year term he has. So we're going to see. We're definitely going to see. So cautiously optimistic, but I don't know. Anyway, continues. Request the SEC Inspector General conduct a thorough investigation of the matters that led to the last-minute lawsuit against Ripple filed on the last day in office by former SEC Chairman Jay Clayton. That investigation must look into the contracts and relationships, past and present, between former Chairman Clayton and former SEC Director of Corporate Finance William Hinman in the United States, China, and other countries which had direct or indirect interest in the policy statements and official opinions they both issued during their tenure at the SEC on cryptocurrencies and other assets they sought to regulate. Yeah, they're not going to do that because if they found anything, it's just going to, they're not going to investigate themselves and then be like, yeah, we're terrible. So that's not going to happen. I like it, though. I like the approach. I don't like the part about China because that goes into the conspiracy theory land stuff that I do not like. If there's some sort of reason that there's like, even just an ounce, a shred of evidence or something that on the surface from an optics type of perspective looks bad, then fine. I've not seen it. I have not seen it. Like, I've seen stuff, people say stuff about that China, this and that, and when I look into it, I'm just like, oh, that just sounds like conspiracy theory stuff. So if you've got something, of course I'll be open-minded. I just haven't seen a damn thing, and I'm in the trenches here, to the extent someone can be that's not an insider, just going through what's publicly available every single day, and I haven't come across a shred of evidence or something that just from an optics perspective looks particularly bad. Not specifically with China. Anyway. And then it continues. Why this is so important. 2 of President Trump's top political appointees at the SEC were, and continue to be, closely linked to financial interests in Bitcoin, Ether, and financial technology business in the People's Republic of China. Excuse me. Any of these connections individually would raise a question of conflict, but taken together, it reeks of something much more nefarious. Yeah, so as far as the China stuff, I stand by my statement. There's nothing there that I've seen. Totally open-minded, though, so throw something at me and I'll be like, yeah, if there is. I just, again, still not there. Former SEC Chairman Jay Clayton and his SEC Director of Corporate Finance William Hinman came to their SEC posts after earning huge fees working for the IPO of Chinese tech giant Alibaba, which operates the mobile payments platform Alipay. They also took over at the SEC just as China was launching its all-out strategy to successfully gain control of the hash rate of Bitcoin. During his entire term at the SEC, Hinman received millions of dollars in payments from the law firm of Simpson Thacher, which sits on the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance. Hinman collected checks from the firm while it earned huge fees supporting the IPO of Chinese crypto mining giant Canaan. So the stuff about Hinman I get because his firm, absolutely profited there. That all makes sense to me. And so as far as the firm here, if that's a piece of evidence, I don't recall if I'd seen that before. Maybe that could be something that's persuasive. Like I said, I am open-minded here, so I'll have to look into that a little bit more after the video, but I'm not going to start Google searching stuff while I'm recording this latest Moon Nebel jam. Piece continues. While Clayton and Hinman were in office, they were asked if Bitcoin and Ether were securities. They said very clearly on the record, no, they are not securities, so keep trading them. They both took money from companies with direct or clear indirect interest in those public statements. Yeah, that part's absolutely true. I'm behind you on that one. Clayton spent 4 years of his tenure being asked in interviews, in public forums, and in official communications to the SEC, is XRP a security? Over and over, his agency's answer was the same. We don't know. At least one crypto exchange asked Clayton's agency point blank years earlier whether XRP was a security, and when given no indication that it was, the exchange listed XRP on its trading platform. Billions of XRP tokens have been bought and sold throughout the world for 7 years with no connection to Ripple, its executives, or its software products. The decentralized XRP ecosystem flourished far beyond Ripple or its software products for banks for cross-border payments. Yep, I'm still on board. On a scale of 1 to 10, I gave you a 2 thumbs up there. But on his final day in office, Clayton had his SEC file a massive lawsuit against Ripple, claiming it had sold XRP as an illegal, unregistered security for 7 years. Yes, 7 years. And that every sale of XRP on the secondary markets had been an unregistered security sale. Furthermore, the SEC alleged that Ripple and all XRP holders should have known for the last 7 years that XRP was a security when the SEC itself repeatedly said it didn't know it until the day it filed the lawsuit in December 2020. Well, technically they knew it sooner than that, they'll say. Of course, they had to file, put the documents together after they made that determination. So that's a technicality. Anyway, Gary Gensler must end this practice of making policy through lawsuits, sit down with XRP holders themselves, and listen to their stories. We want clear rules for everyone, not another SEC chairman picking winners and losers in a regulatory vacuum. And we demand an investigation that fully clarifies whether the SEC was protecting someone else's interest instead of retail investors when the Ripple lawsuit was filed in December 2020. Okay, yeah, so I can get behind the vast majority of that for sure. And signing this, it seems to make a bunch of sense. Like, I don't have an expectation that it's going to result in Gary Gensler doing this or that. But come at it from every angle, make them feel the pressure, make them know that there's all sorts of people out there that say, yeah, there's a bunch of garbage going on here. Listen to us, please. That makes a ton of sense here. So I can certainly get behind this. This sounds like a plus. But let me know what you think in the comments section below, and I will wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.